Yeah, this is what happens here. I had to turn the mics on. They started without me. You too. Yeah. Liz. Hello, Liz.
Hello.
Hello, Colleen Bertino.
Good morning.
I'm Kelly Guss. This is the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast, and nothing worse than people getting warmed up without you, huh? Audience.
Well, I'm flipping through Sylvia Day's new book here, trying to find some, salacious parts. And Liz was saying that, she probably reads more. So then we had a fight over
who reads more.
Who reads more? But I'm like, she gets the erotica stuff.
I read a lot of that.
And what was the title you were?
Then I was talking about. I was just coming back from a vacation. We were riding in the car, and I've been listening to this Audible book, and it's a medieval romance novel called "Rise of the Defender." And
get thee into my bed now.
Yes, totally, right. And it's narrated. Rise. The funny part is it's narrated by a man. I think he's British. He says issues, right? But when he does the female voices, he sounds like Monty Python, like the bird lady.
Oh God! Oh.
So I'm listening to this in the car, and I thought my husband was asleep, and then he wakes up, and I was like, at least that part that they were doing was like a battle scene, so it was all about like heads being chopped off and stuff. But he was like, that was interesting.
So erotica on tape.
Well, you pretty much Audible, you can get, there's so many books available, but like the bestsellers, right? 50 Shades of Grey on Audible.
Really?
Personally, I don't know. I don't know if I could read like a full-on erotica audio.
Yeah, because part of that's the imagination.
Yeah,
don't you think?
What if somebody, like, I listen to my office,
Of course you do.
Yes, you can. I got her attention because she'll have have the headphones on, and I'm like, stomp, stomp, stomp. So she, so she knows someone's coming into her office, and I don't scare the crap out of her.
Or sometimes I'm listening on my computer, and like if I was going to listen to erotica, that would be like so weird if somebody walks in your office and it's like, I'm just
research.
See, at Fantasy Gifts, that's not really all that far out of a
right.
Well,
I picked up my husband once, and a woman walked out with a 50 Shades of Grey book in her hand, and I was like, she's reading that at work?
That's a little
they're
weird.
reading it in the airports and on the
Work?
planes. They're still at the airports. I was just recently traveling, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen this one.
Okay, the book she's talking about is Sylvia Day. So basically, it is another. It started off as a trilogy, and now the fourth book has come off. It's another series. It's like when you're done reading 50 Shades of Grey, read this.
Okay.
Right? So the characters are similar. You have a tragic billionaire in his late 20s that had things happen to him when he was younger, and then you have a girl who saves him with her love, and they have sex everywhere. And they're both hot, and he's stinking rich, right? So you have that whole, like, romantic, he can sweep her off his feet with private jets and, shopping trips and limos and, every time they go anywhere, he owns the building.
Oh. Okay.
When does he have time for sex? Isn't that a lot of paperwork when you?
God, when you're that
they
wealthy.
never work.
Well, he doesn't. Yeah, he has sleeping problems because he has nightmares because he was abused as a small kid. So.
Okay, but I'm just sorry. How many underprivileged or abused kids end up being billionaires? It's like this is a little bit of a stretch for me.
It totally is.
By the time before they're 30.
Totally is.
Before they're 30.
I know, he's 27. And he's hot, like really hot.
Okay.
Right, yeah. It's like I said, the book itself is a page turner. But the minute you put it down, you don't remember a thing that you just read.
And you can come back to page 190 here and have a reasonable read. Oh, yeah. My.
Yeah, it's a lot like 50 Shades, where pretty much you read a few pages and you're back into it. They're doing it again.
Okay. Well,
but there's less bondage. He's into it, she's not. So the most they really get to is like he holds her wrists.
Oh. Okay, that's like Tuesday.
Well, that doesn't sound
so interesting about that.
so that is kind of gone.
Okay.
Well, otherwise it would be total
there's no red.
Off.
Yeah, exactly. There's no Red Room of Pain. But funny, the author writes previous to this series has written some historical romances. They're actually quite good.
Really?
Like
Bodice rippers?
Yeah, but like detective-y, like romance, like historical, just kind of interesting. Like, so she's like a good writer. I just sometimes I feel like she's not very impassioned about this subject. Like, her publisher was like, I want you to write this. And she was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, but that wasn't her thing.
But her historical romances just have more detail and they're just more like,
Well, one of the other ones, we kind of jumped right into the book review, but that you guys have here is in the stores coming soon is Carnal Machine's Steampunk Erotica, and this is Victorian themed erotica. So those
Is it short stories?
I think that one is
short
the
stories.
anthology. Yeah.
Yep. And then
There's been several, because I flip through them and I wonder where they are. I'll probably have to move them away from my kid. I'm pretty sure there's some buried in my bookcase, but I like the short stories.
Yeah. Well, I think Penthouse is. We have like 6 or 7 volumes of those, and that's all short stories, and those are really good sellers. Well, personally, if I have a woman that comes to me with problems about mood and libido and all that, I'm like, have you tried reading erotica? Because, it works. You should do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're reading about it and you're getting aroused,
Yeah, it helps with the fantasy, helps with the mind. It's it's an important part of it.
You want to think about sex. You want to think about having sex. You want to visualize people having sex, and all of that will keep you, more sexualized.
that's a really good point because, a lot of the issues surrounding that, sometimes there's something physical, but a lot of it is you getting in your own mental way. And so that's a great idea, Liz.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, then finally, let's go ahead and mention this one. The Little Bitty Naughty Book of Wild Sex Positions, and some of the names crack me up. The Spinning Jenny.
Oh, yes. Be careful with anything spinning.
Okay. Well, as Michael can attest, with the ceiling fan problems he's had in the past.
Yes, there's Love in the Tub, The Sofa Supper. I like that one.
I like it.
Who's eating who?
And let's see, Her Master's Voice.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna. Well, they're standing. You got to be the right height for that.
Or
Either that, or you're gonna have someone's gonna have a really good thigh and calf workout.
stools.
Stocking filler, role reversal.
Is that pegging?
Look at it. Bad cop. It's the woman on top position. I'm like, oh, okay. You guys have a moment, I might flip through this.
Okay. Carry on without me, she says. Oh my God.
Always good to get inspiration. That line of books always does well, and they're small and inexpensive. Under 10 probably. So,
cool.
See what's the price?
So you have your erotica to get your
$11.95.
Yeah. You got your erotica to get your brain in in the right mood, and then you can experiment with some new positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that sounds
Have
great.
you guys have heard about the 30-day sex challenge, right?
No.
You do it every day
Really?
for 30 days.
And the point of it is
It's to reconnect with your partner. It's to gain additional intimacies and just kind of get that spark back in your relationship. But if you're going to try that, books like Sex Positions and erotica is probably really necessary.
And lube.
Yeah, and lube. But I think like oral sex counts.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be intercourse every time, but it has to be at least that much. Kissing doesn't count.
Okay.
But yeah.
What a great idea. I mean, I don't advise YouTubing this, but I mean, I definitely go ahead and maybe can make a little journal or something. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some of the new books that are coming into Fantasy Gifts. And just want to back up real quick. Again, Colleen Bertino, Liz, Kelly here with you. We've got a lot of stuff going on the Facebook page for the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast. It's getting more and more people starting to read. Megan, again, I can't tout her enough for being so good at keeping up and finding funny stuff and really making the page fun. And it's expanding. So another way to use our Facebook page, which if you just look us up at Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast right there on Facebook, is to go ahead and send us a message. Send us questions. Send us things that you would like to have discussed. We have, thanks to Mrs. Sin, our favorite swinger, I guess you can call her. One of the more entertaining humans I've met recently, I must add. She is suggested and reaching out to, a host of different people across the subject matter that we talk about. So starting next week, we've got a couple pair of erotic photographers that are going to come in, and I showed you guys a couple pictures.
Yeah, hot.
Oh, very, very hot. This is not glamour shots.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, see, there's a fun game. Google your name and then glamour shots and then see what comes up. This was a Facebook meme that ran through my page a couple weeks ago. It was hilarious.
Really?
And believe me, these are not erotic shots. These are hysterical from the 80s. Oh my God. Okay, sorry.
Were they really pictures of you?
No, they're not pictures of me, but you just Google it and you see what comes up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so
I remember in elementary school, junior high, we had this one teacher. She was one of the English lit teachers, and in the yearbook, her picture was a glamour shots picture.
Oh God!
And she, I think, was a smoker. So in real life, she was like tanned and wrinkled, and she had like long straight hair. But her glamour shots photo was like a completely different person.
Those are so weird. I knew somebody that worked at a Glamour Shots, and she told me that they put their clothes on you.
Yeah.
She said they never get washed,
No.
that they were sweaty and
Yeah.
disgusting and whatever. And I'm just like, I would never do. I've never.
No.
Have you guys ever done one?
Oh no, I did.
Did you
I
really?
did. It was hilarious. I was curious. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this? Because people were asking about it and the stories and
Right.
stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I don't think it's right. And something I think I'm wearing. I think it was just a thing where you were like, we have the fabric around your shoulders as
Yeah.
a wrap. So it was
Yeah.
and it's the 80s, so my hair is big and my makeup I think is blue and pink. Oh my God.
It's pretty inexpensive, though. I mean, really, to get a makeover and a photo, shoot. I mean, it's inexpensive for that. It's just tacky.
But they Photoshop the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what's
of course.
the point?
What are you paying for,
What's the
right?
point?
No. I looked at the photos there, and there were some
This
black
is
and white
like
couple
this
shots,
is like
and this
book
was
cover hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, this is some. So this is Lenny and
This
his
is somebody
wife.
who knows about angles.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Oh
Yeah.
Yes, there's some angles. All right. So we're actually going to do a show from the gay 90s downtown Minneapolis. So we're going to set that up and
so cocktails and hot photos.
yeah,
Fun.
pretty
Woo!
much. Well, and talking about because let's just be honest, it's weird enough. I mean, a lot of people are self-conscious enough just to go and get their, a headshot taken
Oh,
for
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a whole new level of, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun to talk to them, not only from the photographer's standpoint, but how do they, so to speak, warm people up?
Yeah.
Or maybe the people that do this are just already so uninhibited that who knows? But I want to hear.
And what was nice too is that the photos they sent, it was a couple shot. This isn't
Yeah.
just your stereotype. Put on some thigh highs. Now I'm sure he does it.
Yeah.
To go through there, but to someone that is comfortable with a couple,
Yeah.
because that's a skill set.
I think my
yeah.
husband would love it if I did a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they would. And he does have one. There's one picture in the little batch that he sent us that is actually his wife. The only solo picture in there is his wife. So this is going to be really fun. And they're going to bring someone else from the swinger group, I guess,
cool.
to sit
That's
and talk-
use their services.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we're
so
probably-
have a more of a client perspective. That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll
they're
be
good.
helpful.
So, so a couple things. So we'll go into lingerie and stuff like that later. I got some news for you here. We haven't gotten to it. We're almost a quarter of the way through the show here, and we haven't done the news. So let's start with a World War I veteran. Was it? No, I beg your pardon. It was a Vietnam War. I beg your pardon. Vietnam War vet in Utah wanted a vanity plate, and he wanted it to say, because of his Purple Heart, okay, he wanted it CIB-69, and 69 was the year that he was wounded and all that kind of stuff. And the Utah division of...
CIB, what would that stand?
Casualty in battle.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Combat Infantryman Badge.
Okay.
Okay. And then
All
the year he was awarded. So, so the Utah DMV basically said, no, it's too risque. We will not allow you to use the number 69, even though it's CIB-69. That's just way too outrageous. In Utah, he actually applied, appealed to the governor and got sort of a boilerplate response to follow the appeals procedure, at which time he was denied. But here's the quote from Arnold Breitenbach. He said, they've got Viagra ads all over the place. He goes, I mean, seriously, I can't imagine sitting on the sofa with my parents when I was a little kid and having something like that on TV. And right now, everything's out in the open, so I can't have a number on my license plate. How stupid is that?
It is, yeah. I mean, I've sat and watched the NCIS marathon with my daughter, and if you want a Viagra Cialis commercial, there's where you're going to find them. And, and she's perfect, and she just looks at it and goes,
It's like I remember being a kid and those tampon commercials,
Yeah.
yeah. And they can't.
How
and they
much worse is a Cialis commercial? Oh my God.
A vet who was injured Can't. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Well, and right now, like okay, guilty pleasure. I have to admit, Married at First Sight. Have you guys seen that?
No, I've heard about it.
It's almost unwatchable because what they do is they do a segment and they preview so much, and then when they come back from the 19 commercials that they play. They recap so much. It's like repetitive.
What is
there's
the
like
recapping in everything?
There's like 5
they
minutes of
don't
content out of every 20.
Yeah, because they don't have enough content.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, but there is, so I just fast forward, through stuff, but they have more Cialis and Viagra ads than any other show that I think I've watched. I mean, every time they come on, and I love how, I don't even know which one it is, if it's Viagra or Cialis, but how they've got the one British gal, who does her she's laying on kind of the bed thing and the
I
flowing
would
sheets.
rather be
Snuggling up with my favorite guy and saying my favorite book. Well, now they've got a non-British accent one because maybe she was too intimidating. So they rotate between. It's like really. I mean, is this that cheese ball enough for you guys?
Yeah, I don't watch broadcast television, so my commercials are limited.
Yeah,
and then it's not like it's not looped to the show I'm watching. It's looped to like the streaming service.
Oh, okay.
So they just plop in whatever.
Oh, yeah, one Honda ad after another.
Yeah, it's literally like the same Honda ad every commercial, but then you only have to watch like one, maybe two.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, I was saying what I liked about the. But did you guys see because we just had Easter? They someone did a Peeps diorama with two Peeps in a tub.
I did. That was great.
Speaking of, I'm flipping through, the phone, looking at the Facebook, and suddenly I'm like, yeah, there was. I had a little coffee in my nostrils because I ran across the Peep.
They had
Peep in the
50
tubs.
Shades Peeps.
50.
Oh, yeah.
Red Room of Peeps.
Put the hand. Okay.
I guess they had a lot of entries with 50 Shades.
Oh, I'm sure
They only had like a couple in the what they put out there. Like if you went to the I think it's Pioneer
Press. They were the first ones.
Okay. This is what we got to do next year. We have to have the contest for the Sexcast Peep,
we'll do erotic peep.
Erotic peep.
How
diorama.
funny would that be?
Okay, you can start submitting them now because really a stiff peep might work better.
Yeah.
Okay. Stiff peeps. We like stiff peeps around here, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a line of cards that is Barbie reimagined.
Okay.
In most of it is bondage.
Okay.
So there's like one scene. It's my favorite. Barbie's on her like downward dog position.
Okay.
And on her butt is a giant birthday cake.
Sweet. That's
and
a
there's
good one.
Another one where these ladies are having tea and Ken is the table.
Okay. Well, we talked about that in the fetish show. Remember that? The people that, the one, and I can't remember what it's called because those names were so insane, but where you pose as furniture.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Library cam girl updates. Sorry that Sarah and Tara aren't here because they met Kendra Sutherland at the what, Colleen?
They were at the ECM buying show?
East Coast News Warehouse show. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, down in Florida.
She got a spread in Penthouse, by the way, as a result. She's still fighting her indecency case against the university.
She needs money.
She does, but she also has a new job. But she was on the HuffPost, one of their podcasts there, and going through some of the requests that she's gotten from her subscribers. And
so she's still doing the webcam?
Yes, just not from the college library. Yeah. One guy wrote in and wanted her to sniff her armpits. Thought that was weird. Another one wanted to lick the bottom of her shoe and slobber all over it. And
they wanted her to lick her own shoe?
And slobber on it.
Okay.
Yep. So she said she tried to play it off and pretend like she was doing it. He's like, nope, get in there. And she just said, okay, bye-bye.
That's where you could die. You don't know what you've stepped on. Yeah. Oh, that's gross.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. It would only have to be a brand new shoe.
Oh.
But I'm sorry, my tongue, I'm just, no.
You know, they're like the one thing, like the whole S&M, like being someone's slave. I'm always like, most of it I'm okay, but then they want me to clean the toilet with my tongue. Like hard line, there.
Yeah,
right.
Hard line. I'm not cleaning anything with my tongue.
No, absolutely not.
I can think of a few things. Okay.
But they're not inanimate, hopefully.
Not inanimate.
I'm hoping that they would not. Okay. So remember the really awful story that was deliciously funny to try to watch the local news cover because of the nature of it, which was the guy who was ejaculating into his coworkers.
Oh, yep.
Coffee
Cups.
and just watching the regular,
and he got away with it because it wasn't illegal, right?
They had the laws being rewritten by a state Democratic lawmaker who's working on fixing that. Well, he did get in trouble. I mean, there was a charge and all of that,
misdemeanor,
but he's not classified as a sex offender.
Yeah.
So that's what they're working on
Gotcha.
changing. So, but this takes us over to Japan. Have you ever been to Japan, either of you?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No.
Have you?
Well, not yet. Okay. And it's going to be a little while before I will ride the train there because a guy named Tetsuya Fukuda has been arrested. He's 40 years old. And this was after matching his DNA to a sample of semen taking off of an 18-year-old schoolgirl's skirt. Now, this guy has admitted to doing the same thing to other women on the Japan's rail, the Sobu line. 2 or 3 times per month since 2011. So they suspect him in more than 100 yank me, spank me incidents on Japanese rail.
So he like stands behind somebody on a crowded subway and just spooges all over him?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so... So you get off and you're like, what is this wetness? Oh, that's...
Is that just awful? But
gross.
here's the problem. Japan's in the similar boat that we were here with this particular case. The only thing currently under current law that they can get him for is vandalism for damaging the skirt.
Right. Not even indecent exposure because he would have had to pull his...
Well, if nobody saw it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't prove that.
Yeah.
Somebody might have saw it.
So I'm just saying. And his quote is he does it because he's excited to be in close contact with women.
Yeah.
So if you're in standing room only on a train, peripheral vision, be ever vigilantly moving. I'm just saying.
Well, maybe you could get into the vending, sort of like when you're at Disney World and they vend the big plastic things for the rain. Maybe they need to sell those on the
ponchos.
You need the sperm poncho, the jacket.
Spoogard.
Yeah,
it is Spoogard. They should sell those in like a vending machine, like you said. Yeah, it's perfect. I did not know this, but did you know that there was a National Grilled Cheese Day?
No.
Yeah. That was Sunday. This last Sunday.
When I used to eat dairy, I used to be very fond of the grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese is good.
Okay. Well, and I'm glad that you both mentioned that because chances are, according to a recent poll, and this was actually in the LA Times, so I'm not finding this in some completely bizarre corner of the internet. But if you don't love grilled cheese, apparently, according to this, your life sucks and you don't have sex. And seriously,
did we get extra giggly today?
You guys came in like this.
What does it say about the 500,000 children out there who will only eat grilled cheese sandwiches?
They're on their way to healthy sex life thus far. But yeah, what they did, the summary of the findings were from the social media company conducted a survey of 4,600 people. And what they found was 73% of grilled cheese lovers have sex at least once a month, compared with 63% of those who don't love grilled cheese. Now get this, 32% of grilled cheese lovers have sex at least 6 times a month, compared with 27% of non-grilled cheese lovers. They also discovered that 81% of participants who love grilled cheese say they have donated time, money, or food to those in need. So they're humanitarians as well as horny.
Well, okay, so I need to. I mean, does it say why grilled cheese? I mean, not burritos or a bacon cheeseburger.
Do they just pick
or French toast or
social media? Here's the real brilliance behind this. The social media company saw that there was a National Grilled Cheese Day, put together the poll to have something to release. So we'll be talking about them. That's how it goes. They just picked grilled cheese, drew the compare. This is not science, people. No. This is Facebook surveys and whatever. But I thought it was pretty funny. I liked it.
They're yummy.
They are yummy. They are yummy. So not that anybody at this table is looking for a job, but this is the mother of all want ads, I think. In Germany, there's a company that wants to become the TripAdvisor for brothels, which are legal. So they're looking for...
In Germany, they're legal?
Mm-hmm. They're looking for a prostitute tester.
Well, if you've got a weed reviewer and tester in Colorado, why wouldn't you have... I mean, thorough research.
Yeah. This company is called Kaufmich.com.
What are they paying for them?
Well, listen to this. It means buy me in German. So they're hiring a full-time prostitute tester, and they'll review the brothels, and it could be a man or a woman. They'll check on service, cleanliness, and compliance with safe sex practices, which is actually quite sane, especially if you want to...
Do your research.
Well, they do, and it does require having sex with workers. Now... This is funny.
Like Angie's List for brothels.
Only this is a full-time job, and it does require a business degree.
Well, you need to be able to write
Right,
a
yeah.
coherent sentence.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to write the reviews, right?
Yeah. And this one cracked me up. A health certificate makes sense. But the last one is the ability to be a cunning linguist because you have to be able to speak French as well as German in order to do it. Yeah. Mhm.
So they had to put that one. I'm sure they went, yeah, we're just put that in.
Yeah. The applicants, 150 in so far from Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Great Britain. So there you go.
Did they say what the pay rate was?
Does not mention, but trying to improve the sex trade and give the sex travelers something.
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a prostitute. And finally, have you guys heard of optogenetics?
No.
Okay.
No, okay.
This is the latest. Well, the headline is kind of tacky, but the technology is pretty interesting. The headline says scientists can now give rats boners at the flip of a switch. This was written by a guy who was completely freaked out into the erectile dysfunction, the direction that the research is going. This is pretty interesting, though. What they do is they have discovered that they can use a certain type of light combinations on rats and once they turn this on, that it can the light rays interact with various other things, and this is very complicated. So
And they're not doing stimulus, like if we shine this light, we're going to
It basically says certain neurons and body processes can be controlled using light. So they encode it into a virus, and then they go ahead. So they are working to move this towards human testing. But I mean, think about the whole idea about SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Why not? I mean, if you have a sad
GE
penis,
and Westinghouse and whoever makes light bulbs is probably interested in this.
I would think so.
Oh God, we could sell them.
Well, they really want to find the woman Viagra,
Cock lights, don't you think?
I think that would definitely work. You'd have to be, careful that it wasn't the extra bulb that got brought out during Thanksgiving. That would be bad.
Oops.
Light bulb's out in the dining room. Oh, I'll get one, honey.
Uncle
that's
George,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
How much would they sell that light bulb for? Or how much would we be selling that light bulb for?
for.
Right.
Yeah.
How much would we be selling that light bulb for?
Speaking of sales, I guess you just got back from a lingerie show.
I did. There's the International Lingerie Show in Vegas. Happens twice a year, spring and fall. Well, actually, the fall one is late summer this year, but
Is this market wide, or is this more toward the fantasy side?
Yeah, it's definitely fantasy. It's definitely it's
Maiden
lingerie.
form is not there with the girdles and
Victoria's Secret.
No, that's a Curve and Magic. That's the trade shows for those industries.
Okay.
So this is sexy. This is stripper stuff and and sexy lingerie. No foundation. There was a couple of booths of shapewear.
Okay.
And like inserts and stuff, but 90% of it. And then they also have toys. There's a lot of the distributors are there.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of stores like us, but they only have like one location.
Oh, yeah.
So they can't order enough straight from the manufacturer, so they have to use distributors.
Okay.
So then the distributors
then
the distributors, they only go to one show a year. They don't go to all the other shows, so they just come to here, and so there's a lot of that going on.
So what'd you find?
I found some new stuff. I found some new men's stuff.
Oh yeah, this can relate to the story about the gentleman who wanted the license plate.
Yep. So Jack Adams, they have this male model. Oh, it's hard. You'll have to.
Oh, he's
We
cute.
will post some pictures.
Yeah, he's handsome.
Yep. He is an Afghan vet.
Oh, okay.
He was in a Humvee. He was driving it, and he went over a mine, and everyone perished but him.
Wow.
And he was in a coma for 2 months. Has burns over, 70% of his body, and lost his leg. And he tattooed all of his burns.
Yep, that's okay. I was going to say he's got some amazingly, it's very good looking ink, but that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he is their male model, and he is striking.
He's
really
beautiful.
He's really beautiful.
Isn't he handsome?
And he has a prosthetic leg, kind of like the runners have, like
The blade.
Yeah. Yep.
Not a leg look-alike, but yeah, he's really beautiful. So of course I was walking around and because they had posters of him all over their booth.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, yes, Yes.
Did you see him?
No, he was not there. No.
Oh my, is he ever well appointed? Look at that. Look at those little abs there. Oh my. Yeah, we'll put some. So yeah, well, did you buy any of the?
I did.
You did.
I did. I got that outfit. I got what he's wearing there, and then I'm gonna have those posters. So
this is
because I'm like, more people need to see this man.
there's an interesting pair of underwear that he's wearing that I actually can see a lot of guys being okay with, because when you say male lingerie, oh hell no, as most guys would go. But
so this particular outfit, it's a brief. It is a white brief that has, I think it's blue or turquoise piping, and it has an open window at the top of the butt cheeks in the back.
But
it's not something you could use, because it's almost like he's showing off his butt cleavage.
Yeah. It's peekaboo.
It's
peekaboo
cute.
For
and the nice thing about this underwear is it's athletic mesh.
Oh, okay.
So it's breathable, and it wicks moisture away, and like super soft and super comfortable. And I got it in a couple of colors. I know I got orange and with gray piping, and then that white with the blue piping, and then I think I got one other color.
Okay.
It's a little expensive. It's
the menswear
high 40s.
does. Yeah, but it's about the fabric, because they're the gentleman, and I noticed the stuff that we're selling. I mean, if you're going to wear something sexy, it also has to be comfortable. I know very few men and women will buy something sexy that may not be the most comfortable, but
it's true.
But the menswear we carry, the true menswear, it's just you're just like, this is the softest fabric ever.
I have some menswear that have a specially shaped pouch, so it feels like you're going commando.
Okay.
And then I have another line of menswear that has this pouch that you put your testicles in, and it helps to raise up all of your jewels so you seem bigger. It'll add like 2 inches to your front bulge.
Oh,
it's called a show me style.
Okay.
And then I got a new one that has a lasso in it, so that you run it around the top of the penis, and then depending on how high you pull the loop up is how high your penis is raised or lowered. Once again, giving you a larger or short or less of a bulge.
So it's enhancement wear for men. I mean, women have been, doing the booty and the bras and everything, and we have just been, and some of it's really, we've done well with some feminine looking
I got
menswear. The lace.
I got some black lace underwear that have a small pouch in the front, so that it's so it's like women's underwear for men.
Okay, I'm thinking that some guys are going to like that, but a lot of them are going to say, no, the lace thing probably not so much.
I mean, we cater to a lot of specific fetishes, so that goes into that.
Sure.
And then I also got some seamless menswear that isn't exactly strictly menswear, because it has no pouch. It's that seamless, that's that thick, stretchy 4-way stretch, and it has like cutouts on the side, so it's like slashed, but it's
so
like
sort of a boy short.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Versus a tidy whitey.
Okay.
Yep. In like black and white, and the cutouts are different, So that's definitely new. I've seen a ton of seamless for women. Those, magic outfits with the kind of like fishnet, but some are more like slashes as opposed to mesh. Fishnet.
Yep.
Yeah. That's something we've noticed, because I mean, it used to be that menswear was a snake pouch or a tuxedo pouch or a Tarzan thing or an elephant. I mean, everone has seen the elephant,
and it still is a good seller. But
I mean, a tiny little pouch that had a tiny little pair of handcuffs on it. I mean, it was definitely
a ruler.
Yeah, a ruler. Definitely ran under the novelty range.
Or like your plain thong with maybe a colored fabric in the front. Like.
But I mean, they're working on the sexy now.
What I like too is the fact that they're doing breathable, nice fabrics, because a lot of the early stuff, like the elephant and all that funny stuff, it was that weird, like synthetic stuff that's just gonna smother it, if you will.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they have bamboo fabrics, because bamboo is very breathable and it wicks moisture away. I would say most of the good men's line use really high end fabrics, that you're not going to see in women's lingerie, but the prices, I mean, they're expensive. A high end pair, it's like women will pay a lot of money for their bras, but they won't really pay a lot of money for their underwear. Well, men will pay a lot of money for their underwear. It's like a woman's bra. really these days, you know.
Well, it's the jewels.
It's
I
the
mean,
jewels.
it's all
Yeah,
about the
it's
jewels.
the jewels. I mean,
And the butt.
Yeah,
And the butt.
And the
Yeah.
boys are down there, and you want something, and it's less fabric. I mean, if you're going to make a full teddy out of some of these products,
Oh,
the
they'd be
price,
really
the
expensive.
price
Yeah.
is going to go way up. But
Yeah.
if you're making a short or
Yeah.
a brief or even a cutout thong, you're using less fabric, so you can, indulge
And
in
then
some really good
of
boys.
some of the stuff we carry is branding. So they have labels around the waistband.
Oh, okay.
And that you could see if you take your shirt off and you've got your jeans slung low, you can see what they're wearing.
Okay.
You know the brand, so you know what kind of underwear they have on. So there's some of that, you know. So
This is good looking, though. I mean,
Yeah, it's nice.
model notwithstanding. I mean, this is really. I could actually see a guy kind of enjoying that.
yeah.
Versus and
the
it's
cuts
serious.
the cuts are small. I don't carry boxer briefs, that go halfway down the legs.
Yeah.
So the cuts are lots of bikinis, thongs, jocks, that kind of thing. But you can get the other stuff at Target, Macy's. So I try to have something different.
I'm going to stick a different topic in here. I want to buffer between this hot model and Vladimir Putin, who's next up. We're gonna do a little intermission topic here for just a second. Colleen, you sent me a note saying that you guys are doing some spring updating to some of the stores. What's going on and where?
Well, we have, it's 2015, and some of the colors and some of the stuff in the stores it gets dated. I mean, there's just regular maintenance that needs to be done. And in the past few years, everyone's been holding back. You're just sort of watching your money, putting it into employees, putting it into, merchandise versus new paint. But the East 7th and Fridley stores are getting repainted and new displays, and it's fascinating because at first people are sort of shocked because it was really bright, and I sort of went with a denim gray blue, and we're remodeling. But one of my favorite part is the customers. I mean, they're fascinated, and they're like, they don't care.
There's stuff going on.
There's stuff going on.
Yeah.
I mean, now, mind you, when all 6 of us are in there and we're putting together a couple of fixtures, it freaks them out.
Yeah.
But if things are things are a little bit out of place, or if got something set aside in a box, they'll just go digging right through it.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing is going to keep them from their stuff.
But they do say you need to re-merchandise every 3 months.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too. Speaking of people starting to spend money again, I was just reading an article this morning. It was on Bloomberg, talking about how, despite what might be going through the news or what a lot of people think, there's discretionary income spending right now is at a freakish high. I mean, from prior to the Great Recession numbers, and they're talking about how much actual spending is going on, but it's not being discussed. I thought that was interesting. Are you guys feeling that?
I think the biggest thing that's been is that obviously more people are employed, but people are still $2.29 gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me a very, very happy business owner, because if it's $20 to fill your tank versus $40 to fill your tank,
That's $20 you've got to spend, and
it's been spectacular.
multiply that by 4,
and we are noticing it. The Burnsville location has they did massive road construction around there. Highway 13, Highway 5. Anyone that is listening that lives south of the river knows what a hellacious project this was for years.
It was a project in the making for 10?
Yeah. So
Bummer.
we're right there. And so, you can't get there from here, or as my one friend calls it, the anti-destination league, was truly in force, but it's done. You can get to the store. You can see our store more. I've had people traveling east on Highway 13 now saying, is that your store? And I'm like, yeah, it's been there 20 years.
Yeah.
But you could only see it before if you were traveling west. Now you can see it when you're
That's
traveling
nice.
east.
Yeah. That's really cool.
But it's not too visible.
Yeah, we don't want people. Yeah, some people like to hide their car and go shopping.
Yeah.
It's no
That's
matter
okay.
what, and that's just fine.
Oh, speaking of Burnsville, Jessica Drake,
Yeah.
what's going on there? Tell me.
June 13th. It's a Saturday.
Okay.
We don't have the time set yet because we're still working at everything. We're not exactly
Or the
sure
topic.
or what seminar, because she
Yeah.
does a bunch.
But
we need to
tell
take a look
everybody
at
who
it.
Jessica Drake is, Colleen.
Jessica Drake is a company that works for Wicked Lube and Wicked Pictures. She has a line of educational videos, but she started as a more traditional adult film star. She's also an amazingly wonderful human being.
Yeah,
I had dinner with
You
her.
like
She's
her?
just spectacular.
She's really nice.
She's really, And she has, progressed into being a spokesperson for the Wicked Lube line, working for Wicked, creating an updated how-to video line, which is just spectacular. I mean, you've got
she does a lot of work on them. They're high end. She spends a lot of time putting them together, researching.
And she will be coming in the weekend of June 13th. We will be having a seminar available for our customers to come to at our Burnsville location on that day.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
We're working on working on the details. It'll be on the Fantasy Gifts website, the Burnsville website.
We should Facebook it.
Yeah, it'll be Facebooked. We'll also, I'm sure that I will, at that point, I'll be doing some print ads.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell folks what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Should be fun.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. So I saw this morning and I couldn't not bring this into the room. So Vladimir Putin, okay, he's gone a little bit off the rails over there with all of his pictures of shirtless horseback riding and the tigers and whatever. And regardless of what you think of their policy and the fact that they would love to invade neighbors again, I did find this really interesting story about how he is being portrayed as a masculine leader who is remasculinizing Russia. I didn't know that was a word, but I was impressed. After the humiliating collapse of the Soviet Union. So the theory in this article is that all of this is to make Russia look studly again, to get their mojo back as a country, okay?
They like their propaganda.
They do. Well, and listen to who all is willing to participate, though. I brought some of the examples, Colleen.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have some discussion points for you. So a female fan appeared on YouTube just a couple months ago, and she's got a new song. She's like a pop star over there, and dressed in the colors of the Russian flag and these cloying lyrics basically asking him to, come hither. Okay.
Okay. So singing a song to Putin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So like on their local Voice or Russia's Got Talent or just
no, this is just out there that went viral, of course, because I'm sure he has the viral media, director in his government.
They don't have free speech there, so the government owns all the...
Exactly. So the United Russia Party's youth wing back in October of 2012, the Young Guard, they produced a video featuring a bunch of attractive young ladies mimicking a variety of his manly exploits. So like reenacting Vladimir. Okay. Okay. Putin's army also filmed a video for Putin's birthday. And this was a bunch of hot, basically girls. I saw pictures of stills from this whole thing, promising him the sweetest birthday gift. And these were women wearing only underpants and white button-down shirts and
Was
baking.
he single or married? I can't remember.
Unclear. I think I want to say he was divorced because the woman standing off to the side was always looking pretty bitter. And understandably.
Which I find fascinating about this because, they changed like the names of a few things, but Russia's Russia. It's a big ass important place. I mean, they're
quite a bit of.
They lost the territory, but their influence is spectacular. So I think it's more of a self-esteem problem
for the country,
versus a perception problem for the rest of the world. Well, that's self-esteem is a big thing.
It's their own problem.
Yeah.
But get this, what kind of a State Department, if you will, organizes the bikini car wash? They did. Okay, listen to this one. This was in Moscow, and scantily clad women from the I Really Like Putin group volunteered to wash Russian-made cars for free. And there's pictures. You can look this all up.
I had a friend from Russia. He was from the last stop on the Trans-Siberian Railway in Novosibirsk. And
that's where that girl that sang in the YouTube videos from.
Novosibirsk. Yeah, I'm not surprised by any of this because it's machismo. It's that thing. It's why rhinoceroses are being slaughtered left and right, because they have to beef up their machismo with, it's ridiculous.
I know the bikini. Well, maybe I know that there's Russian on a lot of our products, so
they sell it there.
I know that they're sexual. They're obviously putting it out there on the YouTube and in the car washes.
Yeah, well, and they also did, in honor of Putin, 12 female students and alumni of Moscow State University's journalism department did a calendar girls, 12 of them. Okay. And they are all offering themselves as as potential lovers for Putin.
Oh.
And here's a quote from Miss March: "You put the forest fires out, but I'm still burning." Can I please throw up now? The question that I have for you guys is this. Okay. So the sexualization of females to enhance his image, and this is obviously, I don't know if they're forced, but some of them seem to be willingly brainwashed and participating. But I want you guys to compare the difference between self-sexual realization, which is kind of what fantasy gifts and your mission is to get people okay with themselves or whatever, and blatant objectification, which this to me appears to be.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's sad. I mean...
It also ties right into the fact that they've got incredible anti-LGBTQ rules. So you're going for the absolute top of the
this
sexist,
is a patriarchal society for sure.
Yeah.
Women don't count for anything, you know. I mean, that's why you have a lot of women that are in the illegal sex trade are from Russia and parts of the Eastern Europe because they have no value in that society. And so these are women that are, feel victimized and are easily to prey upon. And,
there's characters in, does anybody watch Shameless? Have any of you seen that? There's a Russian, transplant who basically will do anything. And she's very matter of fact about it. And it's sort of a nod to how many women are, in that particular position. And I'll tell a quick story I haven't said on this podcast before, but I am divorced. And one of the biggest reasons, there were others, but I caught my ex screwing his Russian assistant. And I had helped him hire her. She actually, out of all the women that applied, she wrote the best, most grammatically correct, not a single error paragraph about something, and the people that were born and raised here couldn't freaking write. And I'm like, you know what? I'm impressed. And she seemed very eager and willing, but I didn't realize that she was so eager and willing to take my life. That's what she was after, type of thing. But it was amazing. I mean, you really saw, as this whole thing unfolded, like she had 2 kids from 2 different men, and she was looking for a husband. Well, it was frightening.
In her culture, she isn't anything until she can have a husband.
Even if it's somebody else's.
Yeah, well, that's not.
It wasn't a problem for her. Yeah, I mean, but it's just it's sad because if that's the attitude, that they are coming from, it's like, boy, you just need a whole new reset.
It is frustrating because then again, there's a very large chance that the majority of the women that you just said there, they know exactly what they need to do to get ahead.
They're using whatever they got. Yeah, I mean, why do you think prostitution is the oldest profession in the world? I mean, it's like women have been using it to get ahead.
I mean, there's going to be a new strip club opening up in Minneapolis, so it's not as though they and like, this is a national chain. I can't remember the name of it, and everyone can Google it on Star Tribune.
It's a weird. I don't think it's what they're going to call the actual strip club.
No, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's just
like
fascinating.
An entertainment group,
Yeah.
Where about?
It's going to be a 700 block of Hennepin Avenue. Okay, and here's the best part. Since this is a national company, they obviously did a ton of research. I mean, they just don't. No one buys a building, plunks down thousands, if not millions of dollars to redo something if they don't think they can make a bunch of money off of boobs. And this is, since it's a full bar, it's just going to be boobs.
Right, right.
And but it's also going to be quite a competition to the other places in town. So everyone's going to have to raise their game.
But this will be the only one that'll be in the higher end entertainment district.
Yeah, it's about 2 blocks off of where everybody else is.
Yeah, it's right next to the Skyway.
Okay.
I think it is in the Skyway Lounge location because in that article I read, it said in the former what there used to be in that space, and they said there used to be a strip club in that space. So I think it is in the old Skyway Lounge space. They just probably are using more.
Oh yeah, it's
3
3 floors. So then of course there was the particular that. If you want a bunch of righteousness and people clutching pearls and then people defending, the comment section in the Star Tribune was quite entertaining.
Really? But I think there's a difference between a full nude strip club and a topless.
Yeah, you can't drink in the full nude ones.
Right, but I think it's just.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I think like women are probably more likely to be okay with topless. You might find more women that are just there. Full nude.
That sounds kind of gross.
There's been we sold a lot before there was the juice bar, the full nude bar in Minneapolis, we used to sell a lot more stripper wear because there was an art to it. You know, you had to work. You know, you got down. You know, you wanted a nice outfit. You went a couple different layers.
More burlesque.
More burlesque. Like the minute there were juice bars, I mean, they would just get naked as fast as possible.
Really?
It really changed. They just,
and it's all about VIP, you know.
Yeah, they're trying to go.
They make their money on the lap dances.
Stuff like that.
Try and do stuff like that.
Do you have a judgment against strip clubs, Colleen, at all?
I
take?
don't have a judgment against strip clubs themselves. What I do have a judgment to is the way that they're paid, because there's such a large amount of the women's pay going to the owners of the bar and not the women themselves.
Okay.
They should get a cut of the bar, frankly.
Yeah, versus them giving a cut of their
Yeah.
tips. I mean, they're pay. I mean, everything. They are nickeled and dimed to death.
Yeah.
And I think if there was, they've won.
They pay. No, most places they pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, see, that sucks. I mean, that's
What?
yeah.
You're charging a cover. You're charging how much for a glass of Coke?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
And it's not. You know. I mean. You know, a lot of folks, you know, it's a good way to make money if you've got the right shifts, and then there's a lot of politics. I mean, everyone could probably make more money if they could just make it. Here's your rate. Here's the tips. You know, going through because I mean, you can sell. I mean, just the entrance fee and the bar. If you can't make it on the booze and the entrance fee,
then
then
I knew
that's,
a girl
that's
that
explosive.
sold shots at a strip club. She never stripped. She just sold shots, and she made like $1,000 a week.
That's pretty good. I mean, especially if you're doing something like going to school, that's like, that'll knock down those student loans pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see when the new one opens up. We should maybe just take a field trip and go. I've always found on the rare occasions that I've ever had the ability to converse with someone, an exotic dancer, if you will, they love to tell you about the business. I do find. In fact, we've got
They're
a couple,
nice.
They are nice, and we've got friendly sort. No, we've got a couple looking to try to get a pair actually, and they're not necessarily, they don't know each other, but I'd like to get a male and a female exotic dancer in. If not, we'll do them separately.
Completely different.
Yeah, completely different deal.
Well, and then a male exotic dancer, it depends on who he's dancing for. If he's dancing for men or if he's dancing for women.
For sure. And, you know, a
He
lot
might
of
do both.
For sure. Well, female exotic dancers, I have had more than one say to me that they really like dancing for women because it's less, they're not pod.
Yeah.
You know, they're just, you know, they feel more respected somehow.
Yeah. But I will say, men strippers are a lot more aggressive than female strippers. So, like, a female stripper isn't going to touch you.
Right.
And a male stripper will.
Yeah. I was at a bachelorette party years ago. I mean, we were all in our early 20s. And a male stripper came to the hotel room where we were having our party and stuff. And I remember sitting on the floor watching this whole thing, just giggling. The whole thing just looked so preposterous to me. Not that he wasn't cute. He was cute, and it was just a crazy great bod.
Right.
But it just looked so silly to see this huge man doing these really. He wasn't that great of a dancer, so he just did all the really
gyrating,
the thrusting, and the gyrating.
And I'm just like, oh God.
No, years ago, I can't remember the name of what the bar is now, but it used to be called Chics.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
downtown. Okay. They would have 1 or 2 nights a week or 1 or 2 nights a month, they would have the male strippers come in.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, when you would get every bachelorette and every divorce party there.
Of course.
And so that's where we went for a friend's, bachelorette. We took her down there. And I realized around the bar, around the dance floor, is where a bunch of women parked themselves, weren't tipping, and were nursing a drink. And I'm like, so the guys had to fight their way over these groups of women.
That's just douchebaggy.
Yeah. To get to the divorce parties and the bridal parties, and then there was like a bidding war because the women were like holding money over their particular divorcee or their
if
perfect
a strip
bride.
club is smart, they'll sell those seats.
And it was hilarious. And then a couple years later, they stopped doing it because women would act like asses. They would get their asses thrown out. But women weren't used to that, and they were, because guys, if they act like an ass, they get their ass thrown out on the sidewalk.
Rick's Cabaret used to be buns and bow ties.
Yeah,
and it was an all-male strip club. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
I got an email once for this thing called a money cannon.
Okay.
And literally, it's this like handheld, kind of looks like a laser tag gun. You know, those big clunky boxes, and you put like a stack of ones in it and you point and shoot and it just like shoots like a money counter. It just shoots the money out. Like, so it's called a money cannon.
Now that would get the strippers' attention. Let me tell you.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they're
like one at a time, you know.
And this is we're this giggly at 11 o'clock in the morning with no booze. Next week, we're going to have the erotic photography team, and another one of Swinger Nation, Minnesota, is going to come and swing by. We're going to be broadcasting from the 90s. So I'll just tell you right now, if you're downloading this or listening to it prior to next Monday, that's going to be the 20th at 8 o'clock. We'll be at the 90s, and if you come on up, come say hi to us. You'll see. You won't be able to miss us. We're going to have headphones and wires everywhere, and you will see us. Come say hi. And Colleen, I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be your first outing. You were under the weather last time.
Yes, I had gotten the crud that was going around, and I was not fit for public consumption. So I think I might put myself in a bubble because I'm not missing this next one.
You are not missing this next one. Well,
some people drink here.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah, there is a beer cap on the table here.
You never know what we're going to find laying around at the Great Northern Sexcast, to be perfectly honest
Should we
with
start
you.
leaving our stuff here?
Yeah, I think so. I think we should just leave little, cute little parallel panties and things like that. Great Northern Sexcast. Thanks, Liz, Colleen. We'll be back next Monday night. Can't wait.
I'm looking forward
Thank
to it.
you.